All right, so welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going deep on the career of James McCarthy.
Oh, yeah.
Gaelic football legend.
Okay.
Recently announced his retirement.
Big news.
Huge news. If you follow the sport at all, you know that this is a big deal. And we're going to unpack why his absence leaves such a massive void. For those who may not be super familiar with Gaelic football, it's really uniquely Irish.
Uniquely Irish.
It's like soccer and rugby and basketball all mixed up into one.
Yeah.
Super passionate fan base and just a ton of history.
Oh, yeah. A name etched in history, James McCarthy.
For sure. We're going to be looking at an article from Arte News about his retirement.
Okay.
But what we really want to do is explore what made this guy such a dominant force and what his departure means for Dublin GAA.
Yeah.
Can they even maintain their dynasty status without their talismanic leader?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. It is.
We'll have to get into that. Let's start by just understanding like the sheer scale of this guy's achievements.
Yeah.
9 All-Ireland titles.
9.
More than some of the most like iconic Kerry players of all time.
9. It's hard to even wrap your head around. I mean, that's like winning the Super Bowl 9 times.
Unmatched in modern Gaelic football.
It's crazy. And it's not just about individual accolades, though. I mean, this guy was there for the entirety of Dublin's golden age.
Right.
Starting in 11 All-Ireland finals from 2011 to 2023.
11 straight finals. 11. I mean, come on.
That is a level of sustained success that you don't see in any sport, really.
Yeah.
And, you know, it all started with his father, John McCarthy.
Oh, wow.
Won 3 All-Ireland titles back in the 70s.
Keeping it in the family.
I've always wondered about that.
Right.
Like, does having a father who achieved that level of greatness, does it add extra pressure or is it just pure inspiration?
I mean, that's a great question. I think for some, it might be daunting, right? To follow in those legendary footsteps.
Yeah.
But it seemed to fuel his determination.
Yeah.
He was part of the U21 All-Ireland winning team in 2010.
Okay.
And then made his senior debut that same year. Just like that.
So he was there for the entire rise of this Dublin dynasty.
The whole thing.
But it wasn't just about, you know, being present. It was about how he evolved as a player, right?
Absolutely.
We know him for this powerful presence in the midfield. But he didn't start there.
No. He was initially known for like his work rate, tenacity as a wingback.
Okay. So for people who may not know Gaelic football positions as well, think of the wingbacks as like the engines of the team.
Yeah.
They cover so much ground, up and down the flanks, defending and attacking.
They're all over the place.
So how did that transition to the midfield happen? Was it a strategic move by management? Or did he push for that?
It's probably a bit of both, right?
Yeah.
Dublin's management recognized his vision, ability to control the game from a central position.
Right.
And McCarthy, always wanting to get better, contribute more.
Of course.
He embraced the challenge.
Yeah. So that tactical shift was a masterstroke.
Yeah.
Allowed him to form a ridiculous partnership with Brian Fenton.
Oh, man.
One of the most dominant midfield pairings
In the history of the game.
in Gaelic football history.
Maybe.
Talk about a dynamic duo. Now, if someone is not following Gaelic football that closely, explain to me, why is the midfield so crucial?
I mean, think of them as the quarterbacks.
Okay.
They're dictating the pace. They win possession. They launch attacks.
Right.
McCarthy's transition allowed him to use like his incredible work ethic in this more strategic role.
Right.
He wasn't just like running around.
Yeah.
He was controlling the flow of the game.
Right.
Using his vision, his decision-making to orchestrate attacks.
So this is where we see McCarthy's tactical genius really come alive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's one game that just jumps out immediately
Okay.
that kind of encapsulates his impact. The 2017 All-Ireland final
Okay.
against Mayo.
Ah, yes. The one-point thriller. Had everyone on the edge of their seats.
It was a classic.
What about that game made him stand out?
It was a nail-biter. Went right down to the wire.
Yeah.
McCarthy at the heart of it, driving Dublin forward, making those crucial tackles,
Right.
inspiring his teammates with his just determination.
Okay.
He was named man of the match.
Oh.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Can you just paint a picture for our listeners, though? Like, what was the atmosphere? What were some of those key moments?
A packed Croke Park.
Okay.
The roar of the crowd deafening.
Yeah.
The tension, you could feel it.
Yeah.
Dublin and Mayo, two fierce rivals going toe-to-toe, battle for, like, Gaelic football supremacy.
Okay.
The scores were level. In the dying minutes, it felt like either team could win. And that's when McCarthy steps up. Makes a crucial interception in the midfield.
Wow.
Dispossessing a Mayo player about to launch an attack with composure, precision.
Yeah.
Delivers this pinpoint pass to a teammate.
Okay.
Who slots the winning point.
Wow.
Just a moment of brilliance.
Wow.
Secured Dublin's victory.
That's the kind of play that just etches itself in the memories of fans forever.
Oh, yeah.
A true captain's performance.
Totally.
And it's amazing to think he was still competing at that level, even after, years of success.
Years at the top.
Years at the top.
And that's a testament to him.
It is.
His work ethic, his dedication.
So we've established that he was a phenomenal player, a vital part of this Dublin dynasty.
Right.
But what about his leadership qualities?
Okay.
How did he influence the team beyond just his on-field performance?
Well, he led by example. He never shied away from hard work, always pushing himself, his teammates, to be better.
So it wasn't just about the talent, it was the attitude and how that inspired the people around him.
You got it.
Yeah.
He had this quiet intensity, this determination that was just infectious.
Oh.
He wasn't a vocal leader, shouting instructions, trying to dominate conversations.
Right, right.
Lit through his actions, his commitment, his pursuit of excellence.
Yeah.
And that's what made him such an effective captain,
Yeah.
I think.
That's really interesting that you say that, about the quiet intensity. It seems like a common thread among a lot of the great leaders. They don't have to be the loudest voice in the room. You know what I mean? It's their actions speak volumes. But even with McCarthy at the helm, Dublin's dominance couldn't last forever, could it? I mean, they did face setbacks. Right?
Yeah, of course. Of course, even the greatest dynasties, I mean, they have those ebbs and flows. Dublin's reign finally ended in 2021. All-Ireland final, lost to Mayo.
Tough loss, I'd imagine, especially after such a long period of dominance. How did McCarthy specifically respond to that?
Well, it would have been easy to get disheartened, right?
Yeah.
Start to question everything.
Sure.
But that's not the Dublin way.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not James McCarthy's way.
Okay.
I mean, they used that loss as fuel,
right,
as motivation.
Yeah.
To come back stronger.
So they weren't ready to relinquish their grip on the championship just yet.
Oh, no, they came back strong.
Okay.
Proving they were still a force to be reckoned with.
And then 2023.
Yes.
McCarthy is captain.
Yes.
Tell me about that year and how he led them back to glory.
Oh, man. He really stepped up as a leader.
Okay.
Remember, Dublin had lost like a lot of key players to retirement, so there were some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
McCarthy embraced that. He guided this new generation of players.
Yeah.
And he fostered that same winning mentality. That had become like synonymous with Dublin GAA.
It must have been such a proud moment for him, leading them back to the top after that period of transition and doubt. But now, with his retirement, they face maybe their biggest challenge yet, maintaining their winning ways without their talismanic leader.
It's the question on everyone's mind, right? I mean, can they?
It's a huge question. And I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear your thoughts.
Well, it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, his absence leaves a void, right? On and off the field. He was a leader, inspiration, driving force.
Yeah.
But Dublin has a history of producing just incredible talent.
Yeah.
Their development system is one of the best.
So you're saying they have the potential to adapt and rebuild?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
But it's going to take a collective effort.
Yeah.
Young players are going to have to step up, fill that leadership void left by McCarthy and other veterans who have retired.
Right.
And the management. They've got to find a way to keep that culture,
Yeah.
that hunger for success.
It's that intangible winning factor. It's so crucial.
Absolutely.
It's not just talent. It's about the mentality.
100%.
Believing you can win even when you're facing adversity.
Exactly. And that's something McCarthy, he embodied that.
Yeah.
Throughout his entire career. Never gave up, never settled, always strived for excellence. And that attitude, it spread to the entire team. It'll be interesting to see, who emerges, right, as the new leaders, the players who can inspire and carry on that legacy.
Because dynasties, They don't last forever.
No.
Gaelic football, it's cyclical, just like any sport. You see it all the time.
Yeah.
Teams rise, they dominate, then they eventually give way.
It's true.
To new contenders.
Right.
And that's what makes it so exciting, right?
Absolutely.
There's always that sense of anticipation.
Totally.
Who's next?
Yeah, yeah.
Who's going to rise up?
Who's it gonna be?
So if Dublin does falter, who's poised to take their place? Could we see a resurgence from Kerry? Team with so much history. Yeah.
Or maybe like a dark horse.
Yeah.
Like Galway, who actually beat them in McCarthy's final game.
Right.
I mean, it's anyone's guess at this point.
It is. I mean, Kerry's always a threat, right?
Yeah.
A talented squad, winning pedigree.
Yeah.
Galway's been knocking on the door,
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
And they're young and hungry.
Mm-hmm.
They could make a real breakthrough. And then you got teams like Mayo, Tyrone, Donegal.
Yeah.
All capable of challenging.
So it sounds like we are in for a fascinating few years in Gaelic football.
Oh, yeah.
With McCarthy's retirement, the landscape is shifting.
It is.
New contenders are emerging.
A new era. Full of possibilities. Potential.
But before we get too carried away with a speculation about the future,
Yeah.
I think it's important to take a step back and really appreciate his incredible career, what he's meant to Gaelic football.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Let's delve into his legacy. Try to capture, what made him so special. It's amazing, when you look back at his career, it's like he really embodies the spirit of Dublin GAA.
Mm-hmm.
That relentless pursuit of excellence, that unwavering commitment to the team. What do you think his lasting impact will be on the sport? Beyond the titles, beyond the accolades, like what makes him so special?
I think for me, it's his resilience. Yeah. You think about it, over a decade at the very top.
Right.
That's not just physical talent.
No.
That's mental fortitude.
Right.
The ability to bounce back from setbacks.
Yeah.
Constantly push yourself, adapt.
And he faced those challenges, going back to that transition from wing back to midfield.
Yeah.
That couldn't have been easy.
Yeah.
Stepping into this new role, after years of success in a different position.
Yeah, and what's fascinating there is that he could have resisted. Right.
Yeah.
He could have said, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, multi-time All-Ireland winner.
Yeah.
Proven star. But instead of clinging to that, comfort zone, he embraced the challenge, learned new skills, ultimately formed one of the most dominant midfield partnerships.
Incredible.
In the history of the sport.
Yeah. I mean, it speaks to his humility, too, don't you think?
Oh, for sure.
This willingness to put the team first, even if it meant stepping outside his comfort zone.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't worried about individual glory. He was all about that success of Dublin GAA. And that's such a powerful message for any aspiring athlete, in any sport. It's not just talent. It's that dedication, that work ethic, that willingness to embrace the challenges.
Totally. And that's something that young players, those kids coming up, hoping to follow in his footsteps,
Yeah.
they should really take that to heart.
Yeah.
James McCarthy's legacy, it's about so much more than the trophies.
Yeah.
It's about the way he conducted himself,
Yeah.
the way he inspired his teammates, the way he represented the sport with humility, with grace.
He really was a role model, on and off the field. And talking about his impact on younger players,
Yeah.
what advice would you give to those aspiring Gaelic footballers who, dream of reaching those same heights?
I would tell him to be passionate.
Okay.
Be dedicated and be a team player.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to push yourself, beyond that comfort zone. Embrace those new challenges.
Yeah.
Constantly strive to improve. The journey, it might be long, it might be demanding,
Yeah.
but the rewards are immeasurable.
They are. Yeah.
And remember, success, it's not just about winning. It's about the pursuit of excellence,
Yeah.
the camaraderie, the shared love of the sport.
I love that. And as we wrap up this deep dive on James McCarthy, I want to leave our listeners with this thought. You don't have to win 9 All-Ireland titles to leave a lasting legacy.
No.
Find your passion, give it your all, and strive to make a positive impact on the people around you. That's what really matters.
Well said. I mean, James McCarthy's career, it's a testament to that power of dedication, humility, teamwork.
Yeah.
He's left a mark on Gaelic football, and his legacy will continue to inspire for years to come.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the extraordinary career of James McCarthy. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.